I do think the report was a little bit misguided, and I think a lot of what we have to remember here is that crypto is so early in its development. Bitcoin hasn't even celebrated its 10th anniversary, its 10th birthday yet, and there's a lot that has to be built. If we think back to the internet as it was getting started, there were scalability issues, there were speed issues, there were quality issues, and those had to be solved with new technologies and new products as the ecosystem developed. That exact same thing is happening in crypto, and we're seeing a lot of very exciting products around scaling, exciting solutions around some of the environmental concerns, all being developed right now as these things start to reach scale and start to run into the problems that BIS correctly identified do exist. And a big part of us, what we're seeing at Coinlist is, we look at these projects and help the best digital asset companies manage their token sales. We're looking at these infrastructure projects and seeing a lot more great teams from academia and from industry working on solving the scalability issues.
In terms of users, because that was one of the main points of the BIS report as well, that without users, Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is simply a worthless token. I mean, you use a parallel of the internet back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, people were signing up for AOL accounts. They were exchanging emails, et cetera. There's sort of a flywheel effect because as they were doing this, there was an ecosystem being built around that for e-commerce and goods being exchanged, et cetera. It doesn't feel like the same sort of build out right now in cryptocurrency in terms of use case and all the different applications being built around it that we feel in our daily lives.
Yeah, we think those products are just being built out right now. So we see Bitcoin primarily as a store of value, almost like a digital gold. And that use case is happening. People are buying and holding it and using it as a way to store value. A lot of the new products that will have more specific consumer use cases held initial coin offerings or token sales in the year 2017, which was really when that boom of cryptocurrencies happened. And we're now just a year out from that. They're just starting to ship product. We're excited about products like Augur, which is a prediction market, launching in July, and a number of others that are coming out over the course of the next 6 or 9 months. And that's when I think we'll see these commercial applications start to emerge. Right now, we're mainly focused on developing the store of value applications and getting those other flywheels started. To your point, these applications need to exist. We need users for these products, and that's going to happen this year and early next year.
When you're talking about crypto, though, Andy, and you talk about a store of value, and it's being used right now as a store of value, can you also say in the same breath that that very same coin is also a means of transaction? If it's being marketed right now as a store of value, does that just flip overnight?
We think that Bitcoin isn't really meant to be a means of exchange, a medium of exchange for transacting value, but rather just as a store of value, and that other cryptocurrencies will be used as a medium of exchange. We're excited about this trend of stable coins, which is tokens that are pegged to a specific value, perhaps consumer price index or even the US dollar as a medium of exchange. You need stability if you're going to use something as a medium over the course of weeks or months. And so looking at stable coins as a solution to that is interesting. Looking at case-specific tokens, things like Filecoin or Blockstack that support their own networks is really interesting. And then looking at separately things like Bitcoin as a store of value. We see those as 3 very different categories, and not necessary that each of them fits into all 3.
So in 5 years, or maybe even less, Andy, do you foresee that somebody like me or you would have a portfolio or a wallet filled with different coins for which each has a different use? That seems like a lot of effort. I mean, you want to be able to solve a problem and not create more problems for people to be able to track these coins, rely on the stability of these coins, and also use these coins in very specific use cases.
We totally agree, and that's where I think the stablecoin point comes in, that can be used as a medium of exchange for a lot of different applications. Separately, we look at these tokens that are meant for specific networks. Those won't be used by every single person, and perhaps we'll actually be using applications built on top of those protocols. So if you look at something like a Filecoin, that's an incentive system for allowing for transactions on top of a file storage network. I might use an application that doesn't actually expose Filecoin to me as the end user at the end of the day, in the same way that I might use Dropbox as an application without realizing that I'm actually interfacing with something like Amazon S3 or their own data centers. Another example of that is something like Origin Protocol, which is a sale that we're recommending to our investment clients right now on Coinlist. And that's a product that will allow for sharing economy marketplaces like a decentralized Uber or decentralized Airbnb to be built. It won't be that the end users necessarily have to interact with that token, but rather they can use these applications built on top of it that will use the token to enable the economy underneath.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.